This is a cutting video. 5 diet tips. It should say 4 diet tips and 1 bulking tip thrown in the middle. How to ruin your diet. How to ruin 4 good decisions with 1 easy move. Coach Greg, and today we're going to be learning from Krissy Cela. She posted a video, What I Eat in a Day, 5 Tips to Cutting. So is she going to give out good tips, bad tips, quality tips, or put out nonsense? Well, let's watch the video and find out.
These are my favorite videos ever, but this is a cutting edition. Now, I just want to put a little bit of a disclaimer in this video. This is what I personally eat if I'm trimming down.
So nowadays, with the world being a bunch of girl skittins, kitty cats, you gotta say disclaimer, warning. We're gonna talk about dieting. So if you can't handle that, then don't watch this video. And this is what I eat. Doesn't mean you should copy what I'm eating. And it's one of her favorite kind of videos. But she's gonna give out 5 main dieting tips. And that's the real focus of this video. Are they in fact good diet tips, bad diet tips? Should you follow the tips or not?
You need to understand that if you drastically reduce your calories to next to nothing, you are going to see results, but you are going to see them way too quick, and then you're going to pile on the pounds way too quick again.
So her number 1 tip, the main tip, is not to lose weight too quickly. If you cut out 500 to 1,000 calories a day, that will result in about 1 or 2 pounds of fat a week. That's great. But it's not sustainable. You're most likely going to regain the weight and maybe even gain more in the process. Not only that, you'll probably end up losing muscle, lower your metabolism, and be starving the entire time. And what is the purpose of a diet if you can't sustain it?
What I like to personally do is reduce my calories by 10%. So around about 100 calories, maybe a little bit less.
Okay, so she started out strong and quickly took a turn for the worst. She says she slowly cuts down on calories. That makes sense to me. And so she said you should reduce your calories by about 10%. And so for her, that's about 100 calories. That would mean she's eating 1,000 calories a day, because quick math lesson, 10% of 1,000 is 100. So if you lower your calories by 100, that would mean you're only eating 1,000 calories. Now I get it, she's cutting, but if she's cutting on 1,000 calories and lowering it to 900, that is not enough food. Never cut your calories below 1,200. If you're cutting on 1,200 calories, then either A, your metabolism is horrible, or B, you don't know how to actually track calories. And if you are in fact eating 1,200 calories and not losing weight, don't cut your calories any lower. Just add in more cardio. Calories in, calories out is how you lose weight. If you can't lose weight on 1,200, you need to increase the calories out part, and you do that by moving more, doing exercise, moving, cardio, lifting weights, burning off more. Do something, move your body. If you eat less than that, chances are you're not going to get enough macro or micronutrients to sustain a healthy body. So don't starve yourself, keep eating, but increase your calories out.
I am never going to tell you that you can cut and completely shred your bodies in 2 weeks' time. It's just, please don't believe that.
Great tip here. You can't shred your body in 2 weeks. Probably going to take 2-3 months, maybe more. Everyone's different, but she's not giving out misinformation saying, just go on a 2-week cut and you'll get ripped. It takes longer than that. If you try to get ripped in 2 weeks, chances are you're going to cut your calories way too low. You're going to be on a starvation diet. Not only will you lose muscle and all the things we just talked about, you're also going to lower your own body's testosterone levels for both men and women, which is not going to make you feel very good, now is it?
You need to do it sustainably. You need to do it properly. Your body needs time to adjust.
So cut your calories slowly. My advice, eat as many calories as you can while still allowing yourself to lose weight. If you stop losing weight, that means you're now at maintenance. And once you get to maintenance, that is when you should further reduce your calories. Do so slowly. As she said, 10% is a good number. You're eating 3,000 calories, cut it down by 300. 2,000 calories, 200. But if you're only eating 1,200 calories or less, don't drop your calories any lower. She says she's lowering hers by 100, and in my mind, what that means is she doesn't know how to track her calories. If she actually thinks she's only eating 1,000 calories, she's probably not adding up how many calories she's actually eating. It is very difficult to track calories even if you're using stuff like MyFitnessPal and adding in everything. Labels lie, and it's hard to weigh out and measure everything accurately. So please, if you think you're not losing weight and you're eating 1,000 calories, you're probably not tracking calories accurately. And studies, they do show this. Most people underreport calories by 30%. You might think you're eating 2,000, but in reality, you're eating 2,600 calories. So based on that study, if she thinks she's eating 1,000 calories, it's probably safe to say that there's a good chance she's actually eating 1,300.
I'm now going to be cooking breakfast. I'm going to have a hearty oaty breakfast because I think oats are amazing, high in fiber, fuller for longer, and they're just delicious.
So breakfast alone, and by eyeballing it, she's taking in at least 400 calories, if not closer to 500. At least 400 calories are in this breakfast. So she's only eating 1,000 calories. She's having 400 of those for breakfast alone. We're adding up quick, so my personal belief, she eats way more than she's thinking she's eating.
Tip number 2 is I personally like to bulk eat. But what I mean by that is I like volume food.
And tip number 2, it's absolutely an amazing one. And she suggests to bulk eat or volume eat. And by that, she means to eat low-calorie dense foods. In particular, lots of fruits and vegetables. She likes to have salads to go along with her meals. They're lower in calories, help her to stay full, and because she's full, she's not as hungry and less likely to binge eat or eat off plan. And you're thinking, yeah, but I don't like fruits and vegetables. Well, spice them up. Add condiments to your vegetables. Add Sugar Twins, Splenda, and so on to your fruits. Make them taste good. Find a way to consume them. Protein ice cream. Add fruits, vegetables to your shakes. Make them thick. Put it over your head. Make sure it's actually ice cream. Eat it with a spoon. These are delicious, high-volume alternatives that can make your diet easier than last time. Whoa. Okay, did she just put a 1/4 cup of oil in the bottom of the friggin' pot? Are you kidding me? She's on a diet and she didn't do this. She just poured it right in. You can't put that much oil and not think it's loaded in calories. If you are dieting and you're consuming this much oil, it makes it next to impossible to track the calories. Do you think that this woman actually tracked those calories? She just free poured a shit ton of oil. Oil, high calorie dense food, lots of calories. I'm not saying you can't eat oil, but track it. If you track it, realize you're adding 300 calories to your pot before you even add in the food. Maybe you think twice. Maybe you're like, oh, maybe I should only put half that amount. Maybe 150 calories of oil is enough. If you're only eating 1,000 calories and not tracking the oil, do you see how quickly that can add up? You think you're eating 1,000 calories, you're not tracking in the oils, the butters, everything you're adding to the meal. So next time you're thinking calories in, calories out isn't working, ask yourself, are you accurately tracking in the calories in portion of your diet? Who the heck needs to put a bunch of oil in a friggin' pot to cook rice? Is she Chef Ramsay? Is she trying to find out the best way to bulk? This is a great bulk meal. Oh, let's add in a ton of friggin' olive oil to the friggin' rice. Are you kidding me? You do not need to add oil to your rice to cook it. This is a cutting video. 5 diet tips. It should say 4 diet tips and 1 bulking tip thrown in the middle. How to ruin your diet. How to ruin 4 good decisions with 1 easy move. Add in a ton of oil and don't track those calories. And then ask yourself, why are you not losing weight? Oh, calories in, calories out doesn't work. Yeah, I know. I just have to cut out my carbs at night or fall prey to all the stinking bullshit myths in the industry. If you're not losing weight, it's because you're eating too much freaking food. Realize that. Okay, so she's got the full fat vinaigrette. So just so you know, a tablespoon of that particular brand, it has about 9 grams of fat and 90 calories. So let's say she had 2 tablespoons. It's easily another 18 grams of fat, close to 200 calories. She also added several tablespoons of oil to the rice. Do you know how many extra calories that is? And avocado, 60 grams, has 100 calories. Avocado is one of the most high calorie dense fruits you can add. So she thinks she's having herself a low-calorie snack here, but when we see it on the table, let's see how much calories it actually is. So 700 calories in meal 2. She's already eating more calories than she's saying she's eating an entire day. Yeah, she's throwing in fruits and vegetables, but avocado very high in calories. And when you throw oil on everything, that dramatically changes the calories. If you're eating celery stick and thinking, well, celery sticks are low in calories, yes. But if every bite is a friggin' tablespoon of peanut butter, the calories add up fast. So she's giving out good tips, but what she's showing is she's eating way more calories than she thinks she is. So be careful. Just because you're eating healthy foods doesn't mean it's low in calories. And to lose weight, it's not about eating healthy, although of course we want you to eat healthy, but you need to be in a deficit to lose weight. And don't get me wrong, it looks absolutely delicious. I'm just saying that based on the portion size, it's not going to be a low-calorie diet. So most people, if you eat like this, you're probably not going to lose weight. We're only 2 meals in, and we're already at 1,100 calories. What this tells me is this woman, she probably does a lot of cardio, a lot of physical activity, and she has a quick metabolism, so she's able to cut while eating this many calories.
Tip number 3 is I personally like to increase my protein intake a little bit higher just because I just want to maintain that muscle mass.
And tip number 3 is when cutting, add more protein. And yes, I do agree with this. When you're on a diet, some of the protein that you're using, it gets used up for energy rather than to build muscle. And adding in more protein, not only does it have a higher thermic effect, meaning it takes more energy to break down protein than fats or carbs, it also allows you to be more satiated, more full. And she explains, when you're bulking, a lot of the extra weight you're gaining, it's not just muscle, it's also fat. And on the opposite extent, when you're cutting, some of the weight being lost is fat and some of it is muscle. Yes and no. If you cut drastically, as she said at the start, 500 or 1,000 calories, chances are you're probably going to lose some muscle. But if you cut very slowly, that is a very small deficit, and in a small deficit, you can not only maintain but potentially build muscle. So when you're cutting, increase your protein to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, spread throughout 4 or 5 meals in the day. That is the optimum way to build muscle while cutting.
You can go from anything, depending on what your diet type is, vegan, vegetarian, standard pescatarian. I do like a lot of fish.
And she says the type of protein, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter
all that much. And I do agree, you can be vegan, vegetarian, you can get your protein from anywhere really. She chooses to eat a lot of white fish, not a lot of red meat. But the one thing I'd like to add is, yes, white meat is lower in calories. You can eat more of it, more volume, but you shouldn't cut out fatty meat sources in your diet. At least try to eat 2 or 3 sources of fatty meat a week. For example, trout or salmon, because these contain omega-3 fatty acids that are healthy for your heart, brain, and cardiovascular system.
Tip number 4 is you gotta eat. I'm gonna put it bluntly to you, you cannot not eat.
And tip number 4 is don't starve yourself. Don't cut out meals. Don't skip meals. Don't try to eat as little as possible. It's not a race. You need to lose the weight slowly. If you cut your calories too low, you're not going to have energy, you're going to lose your willpower, and you won't be able to stick to your diet. You should be eating multiple times a day so that you have the energy required to move, to exercise, to think, to do your job, to work, and so on. So it's important to realize it's not a race. Losing weight is not a race. And yeah, I get it. You want to have that amazing before and after transformation as soon as possible. But the longer it takes you to lose the weight, the more likely you are to keep it off.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to go to the gym. But before I do, I'm going to have some pre-workout meal. So I just want some mixed berries and Greek yogurt.
And so meal 3, she's having a small amount of Greek yogurt and berries for only 200 calories and some BCAAs. Nothing wrong with the BCAAs. She is on a diet. Flavors her water. She doesn't need it, but she wants it. Nothing wrong with adding BCAAs. It's only 200 calories. That doesn't seem like a lot, but you've seen how much she's already eaten. At the end of the day, it's calories in and calories out. So if you have a 700 calorie meal a few hours before, you don't need a massive pre-workout before going to the gym. Frankly, she could probably have skipped her pre-workout, gone to the gym, and been absolutely fine. It's okay. You don't need a pre-workout or post-workout meal. If you want them, of course you can have them, but it's not essential if your goal is to build muscle and lose weight.
I don't feel like you should have the mentality of, I'm now gonna cut, so therefore I'm now gonna eliminate every single type of carbohydrates.
Tip number 5 is stop being a freaking carbophobe. You don't need to go on a keto diet to cut out your carbs or not eat carbs after a certain time or only during a certain window. Don't cut out food groups just because your goal is to lose weight. What's healthy all year round is healthy on a diet. The only real difference between dieting and not dieting is you're eating less calories. You shouldn't be cutting out food groups. There's 4 food groups, and most people should be eating from all 4 food groups because they give you the best chance of having the macro and micronutrients that you need to be healthy.
I just feel like that's not sustainable in the future, especially if you haven't slowly got yourself into a low carb diet or a keto diet.
If what you're doing on a diet is not sustainable, as in you cut out carbs and you're like, yeah, I can handle it, I'll do keto for a few months. If you're not ready to do that for the rest of your life, you shouldn't do it in the first place. A diet shouldn't be overly restrictive and make you feel like you're dieting. Whatever diet you should follow, it should be the forever diet. The one you can sustain for the rest of your life, like the circle diet, like in my cookbook. You can eat anything, just make sure it's lower in calories. Bring it inside the circle. If it doesn't taste good enough, it's below the circle. Make it taste better. Add condiments, sweeteners, make it better, taste better, bring it into the circle. You need to love and enjoy the foods that you're eating.
You might lose weight and you might look absolutely incredible and feel amazing about yourself, but then you're just gonna pile it all back again because it's not sustainable and you haven't done it gradually enough.
You need to fix things and make changes that you can sustain for the rest of your life. It shouldn't be dramatic changes night and day. When you start a diet, make small changes that are easy. And as the diet progresses, slowly make changes that you think you can keep sustaining. Don't make night and day changes. Cutting out all junk food, all sugar, all fat. Don't do that. Make small changes that you hardly even notice, that you don't mind, that you can keep doing. If you haven't got it already, please consider getting the cookbook. Well over 100 recipes of foods that you absolutely love, redone to be lower in calories. Lower in calories, more voluminous to make you full. They're still delicious. 80% as good as the real thing. Plenty tasty, plenty delicious, and you'll be able to eat these for the rest of your life. You don't need to eat all of them. Even one different meal a day can be all that you need to lose weight and keep it off.
Okay guys, so the final meal will be dinner. So let's go and see what your girlie's having for her din.
Then after the gym, she says she's having a shake. I don't see the shake. I don't know if she ended up having it. Shake could have 100, 200 calories. It's hard to say. And then she has pasta. Several hundred calories, and I'm sure you can agree with me, this was not 1,000 calories. We were at 1,300 without counting the post-workout shake and the pasta meal. Probably add closer to 2,000 calories. So maybe she's just not very good in math. Not everyone's good at math. If she's eating 2,000 calories and drops her calories by 10%, that's 200 calories. So maybe she thought 5% was 10%, and it's a simple math mistake. Lots of people aren't good at math, so we can't fault her for that. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. Please watch one of the boobs. Don't forget to get one of the friggin' supplements. Harder Than Last Time supplements. Click the link in the description. The cookbook, of course. Training book. Coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe. Click the bell button. And until next time, I am out.